Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to make for you my... Okay, we'll start again. Hi, good morning, welcome back. Today I'm going to make for you one of my favorite recipes, the most simple recipe of alcoholic ginger beer. Basic ingredients: I've got 6 good sized lemons, fresh ginger and brown sugar. I've never used a brown sugar before. If you don't have brown sugar, you can use ordinary white cane sugar and some brewer's yeast. Now this recipe, strictly speaking, calls for champagne yeast. If you can't get hold of champagne yeast, brewer's yeast will do. If you can't get hold of brewer's yeast, then the normal yeast that you use for baking bread will do, but it won't be as good. These are the basic food ingredients. Very importantly, for any brewing experience, you have to sanitize your equipment. That means you've got to clean it out thoroughly. This is a professional cleaning equipment. If you don't have access to something like this, you need to get hold of some bleach, some unflavored plain bleach. Clean all your equipment and make sure it's properly dried and rinsed off afterwards. If you're really interested, this has got a very curious chemical name, which I will attempt to tell you what it is. Sodium carbonate peroxyhydrate. There you go. If you can get hold of some of sodium carbonate peroxyhydrate, you're onto it. Otherwise, your regular bleach will do. And I'm using a 10-litre bucket with a piece of ordinary tubing there. I'll explain what the tubing is in a little while. Right, first things first, we peel the lemons using an ordinary potato peeler. If you don't want to do that, you can also grate the lemon, but be very careful not to get too much of that pith. And we have the zest of 6 large lemons. There you go. That's what's going to give you the flavor. Take that, put it in your bucket. Nothing more than that. And next is a ginger. All that lovely ginger flavor, I just ran that through a food processor, and as you can see, it comes out nice and fresh and goes in the bucket. Okay, so we've juiced the lemons. Just for point of reference, that's about 600 milliliters of lemon juice, fresh. Make sure you don't get any pips in there, and try not to get it too much pith. And along with everything else, goes in the bucket. Then, to that, we've got about 2 liters of boiled water. It's just off the boil. And then half a kilogram of brown sugar. Like I say, it doesn't matter if you use brown sugar or if you're using ordinary white caster sugar, it's all the same. So once you've got everything in, give it a stir, and that should help just dissolve all that sugar nicely into the water. The sugar is what's going to give us our alcohol. Using a dark sugar, we should get a darker color and a darker flavor in our drink. Right, so I've topped the bucket up with about 10 liters of cold water just to bring it up to, or bring it down in temperature. As you see there, we've got a little thermometer. This is a kind of thermometer you can get for your fish tank. We want to get it down to around 20 degrees. This is a little bit warm now, but not so hot that we're going to kill any yeast. Ideally 20-25 degrees, that's fine. And what we're going to do now is pitch yeast. So I'm going to put, that's roughly a tablespoonful of yeast, and you just put it in and leave it there. It'll activate on its own. And there you have it. I've put the lid on the bucket and I've taped it down to keep it in position. One thing that will destroy any brewing process is bacteria, so I've put a little bit of extra security there to make sure it doesn't get any bacteria into the brew. And then this pipe, this is about the only bit of science that you'll need here. When we're brewing, we're producing oxygen that'll go down through the pipe and into this water here that allows the oxygen to bubble out of our brew, but it can't get back in. It's in effect a one-way valve, and you can recreate this if you have a proper airlock. That's fine. We can simply do it. I've just got a bit of tubing and a jug full of water. As long as that end of that tube stays under the water, then no bacteria will be able to get back up the pipe. If you don't have a lid on your bucket and you don't have a pipe, don't worry. Get a clean tea towel, put it over your bucket and secure it in position with an elastic band. It'll do much the same thing.